any female born after 1993, eat hot chip, and lie.
First of all, I do want to say this mic is just a prop. So if the audio quality is a bit bad, it's because I'm using like a $15 one from Kmart. I'm also filming on my iPhone because I cannot afford a proper camera and lighting is not my best skill. But I will guarantee that the contents of this podcast are a lot better than the audio and light quality, so trust me. Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode of Eat Hot Chip and Lie, two things that we know all girls love to do. I never really saw podcasting as a possible venture for me, and I'm sure that everyone here, at least on YouTube, probably didn't expect it either, but I have realized that long form edited content is really hard to produce, and I'm saying this as someone who has had 5 months of free time because I broke my leg, so I've just been at home doing nothing. I attempted to make another video, but I just found that I just was not enjoying it as much as I used to. But the thing is, I'm a yapper through and through. I love to talk shit, I love to, commiserate with people on certain things, so I thought, what better to, have a long form place where I can just dump my thoughts on anything and everything than a podcast. I know I've shit on podcasts before, some people may know, but honestly, I think there's nothing better than a girl with a microphone. So, can't really argue with that. But I did want to say I'm very excited for this. This is going to be up on like Spotify first and then other stuff if I can figure out how to do that. But I thought that along with that, I'd include a little, visual setup. I really want this, podcast to not be some fancy, I just want it to be conversational. I want it to be really casual, which is why I'm in my little PJs, surrounded by all my friends here. This is like the town council of the hot chip lovers. I really wanted to like have hot chips every time I film an episode for this, but I have no money to Uber Eats, so make sure you watch this video so I can afford food. No, I'm fine, I promise. But I just wanted to be really chill, just, a girl running her mouth, talking her shit, and I really hope you guys stick around for it. There's not going to be like a particular theme or kind of like running theme through this podcast, because I'm sure, as you can tell from my channel and like from the things I've said I was going to produce, I am a fan of basically anything and everything, so there's going to be hardly anything that's off the table. I guess first few episodes I'm just going to be talking about stuff that like I really want to get off my chest, but if there's stuff you guys want to hear from me, like tell me, because I will be more than happy to just, talk my shit. And literally anything and everything. I've been in about 10 billion fandoms, so you'll be hard to find something I don't know something about. So yeah, feel more than welcome to leave requests. So really quick before we jump in, I know this has been a lot of yapping, but that's what we do. Sorry, my dog is barking. I just wanted to say, clearly she doesn't want me to say anything. Anyway, I just wanted to say that YouTube, I feel like, has always kind of been like a option for me. Obviously, I grew up on YouTubers and I thought that was a very viable career. And I am absolutely like blown away at the amount of attention that my account has received for the past year. I know I haven't been making a lot of use of that, and I do apologize for the people who have subscribed. But I know that, just know that I am so grateful for you, for the patience, and for the people who are still showing interest in the stuff I'm planning to do. It means the world that people care about my content and me as a person and my opinions. That's all I've really ever wanted, just in my life and as a career, and to fulfill myself. So I am very grateful, even though I don't have too much to show for it. So I'm really hoping that this sticks, and that you guys resonate with this kind of content. I know it's very simple and it's been done before, but I just want to carve out my own little space on this World Wide Web. And if you're feeling it, come along. But thank you for all the attention on the Fall Out Boy video. Probably not something that will ever happen again. It was just a little, pipe dream, little thingy I was working on, but it was really fun. And it's been really fun to read comments of all different kinds from many different people. But as I said, the people who were really nice and supportive on that video, it genuinely means a lot. And the fact that people, you know, still are interacting with my stupid community posts because I can't decide what I want to do on this account, it means a lot that I have you guys here. So no matter if there's 20 of you, 3,000 of you, how many views does it have now? 4 million of you, I will be here, and I hope we have fun. That was so cheesy. I've got 2 things I want to talk about today, and I feel like they're kind of conflicting, but they must be done. So I am a person who is very, I guess I'd say, well-versed in current television, but there are usually shows that I don't bother watching, and most of the time that is Netflix originals. I just think that they're poorly produced, they're cancelled too quickly, and they're just a waste of money. Which is why it was a very big surprise to myself when I found myself very interested in Outer Banks. I just feel like I was not the target demographic for that show. Yes, I am a young person and I watch Netflix, but, you know, it's about teenagers who live on an island and they do island things, and they're like treasure hunting. That was also a big thing where I was like, I don't know how much I'm gonna gel with this, but after dipping my toes, and I will tell you the origin story of how I actually found out about Outer Banks. Obviously I knew of the show, but I actually didn't watch it until the beginning of this year. The only reason I found out about what it was is I was heavy in my Hunger Games era last year because The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came out, and I was really trying to find more fan spaces, so I depth into the horrors of Tumblr again. And might I say, everyone thinks Tumblr is a dead hellscape, but it's actually like one of the most it is probably the only fandom-based social media that still hasn't completely been run to the ground. So give Tumblr a try. There is a fandom for everything on there. But I was on Tumblr and, you know, looking at Coriolanus Snow fanfics, as you do. And I just remember, like, 2 of these accounts kept mentioning a Rafe Cameron. And I was like, never heard that name in my life before, but the way they wrote him was just batshit insane. He sounded like the most psycho man on earth, horrible issues, really, like, astounding, and I was just like, I need this in my life. I promise I am much healed now, probably about a year later at this point. But that was my first introduction to Outer Banks. I honestly was reading Rafe fanfiction before I even knew what he looked like, and before I'd even watched the show. There was just something so, like, heterosexually blatant about the way that he was written, because obviously I've been engaging with gay things for a long time now, and that was honestly the first time that I had read Times Reader content since I was into One Direction, and I was like 10 years old at that point. So it's been a very long time. It was a very new world for me, but I was intrigued. I don't know why. I honestly don't want to know, but there we go. So after being acquainted? That's not a word. Introduced to Rafe Cameron, I thought, you know what? There's a lot of context in these fanfics that I'm not understanding, and I really want to know why this handsome man is so damaged. So I decided to watch Outer Banks, and my life went to hell. Just joking. I think it's just, I don't know, it's one of my most recent, like, heavy interests, because I can tell when I'm going to have an obsession. I get, like, a tingling feeling in my body. I start, you know, freaking the fuck out, because I have, like, a spidey sense on fixations. I just know. And the minute I turned on Outer Banks, and there's fucking John B narrating, like, some, I don't even know, I think it's so funny. I literally was like, oh, fuck. I was in for it. And I honestly think that Outer Banks started as a really good show. I can see why it was so popular with so many people, especially during the pandemic, because it's totally freeing. It's got a really, really funny ensemble, like, cast with really good chemistry. I think that the plot and the events of season 1 and season 2 were so engaging and so easy to kind of get lost in. It was surprising for me because I've never been a fan of fantasy or adventure or those kind of genres. If I'm ever watching like a Netflix show, it's usually just some fucking like teen drama or whatever, but I get the best of that with some, adventure and some treasure hunting, and I actually really liked that. So I was thoroughly surprised, but thoroughly enjoyed Outer Banks for a multitude of reasons, and I would recommend it to most people, but that was until I watched the 4th season. I am sure that this is not an unpopular opinion, but I did not really like it, and from what I see for everyone else on the internet, they did not like it either. I don't think the show has declined as drastically as people say it has, but I just think that the plot is, who the fuck knows where it's gone. Character chemistry is just not there anymore. It's just not hitting. It is not hitting at all, and I kind of can see why. Obviously it's a show where they're exploring for treasure and going on these big grand adventures, and they can't really just stay in the confines of North Carolina anymore. It has to expand, especially as the show is nearing to its end. We need higher stakes and we need excitement, which is why I think they've made a lot of decisions they did this season, even though they have upset many people, including me. I just think that a show that goes on that long cannot stay boring. And a lot of people were saying, oh, OBX used to be my comfort show, I'd turn it on for smiles and everything, and I was like, comfort show? 2 of the main characters literally almost died at sea. Every single person gets abused by their parents. Half the cast are poor. And I just think it's so fucking hilarious. But at the same time, I understand, because when I watch Outer Banks, all I can think of is Outer Banks. I am jealous of those people who can shift, because I want to go into the Outer Banks universe. I want to befriend these people. I want to be around these people. It's a very it's a show that relies on dynamics and bonds a lot, which is why I think that this recent season has not been delivering, because there is a complete loss of that for many reasons, which I'm not really wanting to get into. But I thought I could share my specific thoughts on season 4, because I have quite a few of them. So if you have not watched Outer Banks season 4 and don't want any spoilers, please skip ahead to the next section. It'll be in the chapter things on YouTube. If you're listening to this in an audio format, my apologies, just try and skip forward. But anyway, I have got a bunch of notes here. So probably the main shock, well, it's probably not a shock to many people, but the main event of season 4 was our first main character death, when JJ was killed by his biological father. I honestly thought that this season was completely Rudy's season, and I know many people have issues with him, and I just want to preface this that when I discuss this show, I will not be talking about any of the cast personal dramas. I'm not going to be speculating on who might have beef with one another and whose girlfriends are fucking everything up, because I honestly just think it's disgusting how much discourse is surrounded around these real life people for a show. This is a show, these aren't real people in the show, and yes, unfortunately, there might be an aspect of the show's dynamics or how the show flows that is affected by these real life people, but at the end of the day, these are people with real lives and real relationships, and they do not affect the people in the show. So, I think that there were various reasons why this was Rudy's time to shine, and I honestly am very thankful. I think that the JJ heaviness of this season is one of the aspects I enjoyed the most. His big plot twist at the end of part 1, that he was in fact not a Maybank, I still am kind of like, I don't know how to feel about it, because obviously this boy cannot catch a break in his life. He will never ever have a peaceful time doing anything. But I know the point of it was to rattle up what we know about JJ and his whole foundation, that he has been a pogue since he was born, so he thought. He's been raised in this horrible, horrible home with a horrible father. Life has kicked him in the ass every single, place he's ever gone. And then he finds out that he has, like, multi-generational wealth. I can see what they were going for, but the fact that, like, I don't think JJ himself got time to ruminate on that. And then I think that's why it doesn't hit so well. Because JJ finds out from his dad, Luke, and then, he goes on this trip with his actual dad, but I just feel like it was so glossed over. They had a few moments in these episodes where they, like, explained the lore and info dumped everything. But, like, even the whole fact of when they were at the grave of JJ's mother, he doesn't get time to explore his feelings surrounding, the fact that his whole reality has changed. It's all just about finding the fucking crown, which, yes, it's an adventure show, but I think that in some places in this season, they did so good at letting JJ live and experience what he's feeling and put out what he's feeling. But then when it comes to his family, there's nothing. I think I would have liked a little more reflection and insight into how JJ feels about his whole world turning upside down. At the same time, I guess he didn't really have time, because, like, they were just fucking around, running up and down everywhere. But that kind of pissed me off, I guess. But, as I said, JJ does die at the end. The fact that he was killed by his father really just makes it hurt a little bit more. I think it came to the point in the episode where, when they pushed Groff into the well, I was like, okay, he needs to die here, but it's halfway into the episode. We still have over an hour left. There is no way he's not coming out of that hole, and somehow that bitch carves fucking, like, footsteps to climb up, scale up the fucking well with a pocket knife. I cannot believe it. I know realism has never been a thing in this show because of how many fucking boat crashes and, like borderline natural disasters these people have survived, but I just cannot believe it. And, like, the way he would have had to climb out of that well within 20 minutes, this man has the stamina of, like, a beast. And I hate it. But the moment that I saw Groff clawing his way out of that well, I was like, JJ's done for. Because I had been spoiled about JJ's death, as I'm sure everyone else in the world has. But I honestly assumed it would be, like, Rafe. Or it would be, like, an accident. Like, what if, like, for example, Pope or something accidentally stabbed JJ, and that would be, like, a whole thing. But, no, he was stabbed by his father, which I think was very predictable. But it's just really sad. Because JJ lived such a hard life with a deadbeat father, who then goes and betrays him one last time. And the moment that JJ thinks he's found some peace, that maybe his life meant to go wrong so he could come to, like, this point and start something new, he dies at the hand of his father. Like, oh my god, it's so tragic. It is so tragic. But sometimes that's how life is. And I think that people are taking this death and running with it in 10 million directions, and are kind of using it as, like, bait for real life drama. But people are neglecting the fact that we have been told that this was planned all along. People are trying to deny that. I don't care, whatever. I'm just saying it's come from the official people themselves, so that's what I'm going with. I can kind of see that. JJ was always the reckless one. He was doing stupid shit. He was constantly, like, fighting death and just having, like, the best luck I've ever seen in the universe. So it was his time. And I'm not too mad with how he died. I feel like it's whatever, it's happened. I'm just really, really mad at how rushed the conclusion was. So this all happens within the last 10 minutes of the last episode of the season. They are in an entirely different country in the middle of a fuck-ass desert being chased by two different, like, evil sides. I guess they're still, like, kind of working together, but, like, two separate chases. He dies. They bury him in the desert. In a random fucking desert. I cannot believe, I don't know, maybe I don't expect some, a group of 20-year-olds to hang around with a corpse, fling him on a boat, and then drive him back to North Carolina. Or maybe I did. Because what happened to Pogues for Life? What happened to P for L? Because I can tell you, if that was my man Pope, if that was fucking John B., dead in the ground, JJ would not settle for that. He would not bury them in a foreign country. And then, like, I cannot believe that happened. And I'm trying to think of, like, what would happen if they tried to get JJ back to Kildare. I understand that literally the entire fucking group are on the run. So, like, the moment they would have gotten back into the island, they would have been, like, taken away, whatever. But the thing is, Shoop was on their side. They were, like, they had an officer on their side. So could they not have just fucked their way back to Kildare without the crown or anything? Because one, they could tell Shoop where Gruff has gone, which was the whole reason why they went to Morocco, to find Gruff and hand him into Shoop. And then, like, I cannot, it makes me so frustrated. I don't know. I just didn't think they were going to do that for a character who is so beloved and who is so loyal. They're all of them. Every single Pogue is too loyal for their own good because they're just destroying their lives, losing their lives for their friends. And, I mean, I would take a bullet for my besties. I can deal with that. But, like, that far, it's ridiculous. I can't. So my main issue is just how it was executed. Because we literally get a scene of them burying JJ, and then they're all talking around a fucking campfire saying they need revenge, and then it ends. There is, like, the scene itself is emotional. I did cry, obviously. But they're all just kind of stone-faced looking at his dead body, and then we switch. And I don't know, maybe that's just because I'm a sucker for, like, emotional bait, really obviously sad things that are meant to make you feel like shit and meant to make you cry. But this is the death of a fan favorite. And we skipped over it like it was nothing. I'm sure we're going to get some stuff in season 5, and, he'll probably get his own little tiny funeral procession when they get back. But I just cannot see what is going to happen to those children, well, they're not children, those people when they get back to the Outer Banks. I don't know. And you know what? They went all that way to find the fucking crown, and they lost it anyway. They did all that for nothing. They literally lost JJ for nothing. So, it's gonna be full of revenge, I'm sure. I just really want to see Kiara crash the fuck out. But yeah, no, I was really disappointed with how it was executed. In terms of the fact that he did die, I think that it was inevitable that one of these kids had to go. There's no way they were going to kill off John B. It's his show, basically. The most underrated main character ever, mind you. And Pope, I just don't want anything bad to happen to Pope. I can't. And I feel like they were going to kill none of the girls, so it had to be JJ because he kind of has a death wish. Also, sorry, I keep scratching. I got, like, mauled by mosquitoes last night. It's very sad. But I honestly think that it does create an interesting arc. Everyone's kind of complaining, saying that it does nothing, but JJ was an integral part of the Pogues. Like, yes, he annoyed the fuck out of me this season because he kept making bad decisions, but those bad decisions pushed the plot forward. And this bad decision will push the plot forward because it's not just about camaraderie and adventure exploration anymore. It's now going to be about vengeance and going for revenge and risking it all for someone who did the same for you. So it's much higher stakes that we would not have without a main character dying. Unfortunately, it just had to be JJ, but that's where we are. I also think it's going to actually push forward Rafe's redemption arc. Because we have seen a major change in Rafe Cameron this season. Like, yes, he's still kind of a little bit of a crazy man, but he is clearly prioritizing himself, his life, because so much of his misery came from centering his father in his life. And Ward is just a whole nother... I actually kind of miss Ward. I feel like I miss when the only problem in the Pogue's life was Ward Cameron blowing himself up on a boat. But it is what it is. I really, really, really like where Rafe went this season. I think that he's finally maturing into, like, the man he wants to be. And he's a professional in some ways. He knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to say it, and not afraid to do stuff to get it, which is how he was before, but just without all, like, the mental illness and the drugs and the psychoticness. I think that he is a fully realized person now, and that doesn't make him boring, because he's still crazy, but it's in such a refined way that I love it. Oh my god. See, I was already up Rafe's ass. Like, I will kiss the ground he walks on any day, because I think he is such a fun character. But he was literally perfect. They have made him so cool. But I do think that JJ's death will further his redemption arc, because he's stuck with these kids in Morocco now. I'm sure they're still going to be there for probably half the next season, and he is going to have to work with them no matter what, because the stuff he was looking for, which is basically Groff, not really the treasure, he's gone. So that gives Rafe a motivation to keep going, because he needs to find Groff in order for his own kind of vengeance. The Pogues want to go find Groff because he's the one who killed their best friend, and, you know, maybe they get the treasure in the end, but they probably won't, because they just don't have good luck. So, very excited to see where Rafe Cameron goes, but I think that unfortunately we had to sacrifice someone to push him further, and push the rest of them further, and it had to be JJ. Rest in peace. Sarah Cameron has been dealt blow after fucking blow, and I just want her to be happy. I just need Sarah to be happy, because you're telling me that this girl has been through hell and back, and now she's pregnant after saying she doesn't want to be pregnant, and then she almost dies again in another fucking boat crash, and then now her best friend's dead, and she has a baby. I have nothing more to say about that. It's just, she was so happy before she started dating John B, and it pains me, because Sarah and John B are the only couple in this show that I actually feel for and I care about, and she's so unhappy. But I don't know, good luck to her and the baby. I don't see them faring very well, because she, like, is yeah, good luck. I do really want to commend Chase Stokes, because, as I said, John B is probably the most underrated main character of their own show to ever happen, but his acting this season was phenomenal. Like, genuinely, I don't know what he has changed about John B, or the way he presents himself as John B, but I unfortunately have been ignoring John B for most of the time, like, as everyone else does, but I actually thought that he just grew into his character so nicely this season, and I guess for the first time things weren't spotlighted on John B, and maybe that's why, I don't know, but it was so convincing. He was so likable as John B. He had some really good lines. His chemistry with Madeline, as always, top tier. Like, I've never seen exes act so well together, and I'm so happy that they can, because John B and Sarah, I love. But I was very impressed with Chase, and I cannot wait to see what he does with John B next season, like, you know, particularly because JJ's gone now, and that was his BFF for life. So I'm expecting a lot more, but praises to Chase Stokes. My favorite scene of the season was probably JJ's crash out, because holy shit, it was shot so good. I literally was sat there the entire time with my jaw just dropped, like, holy crap, he's so good. The way it was shot was so good, the soundtrack was so good. I just loved the amount of time that was spent on his crash out. Because as I was saying, I wanted more of JJ's internal feeling and his reaction to everything. He just got fucked over by his dad, and he smashes a fucking window in the courthouse. Like, oh my god. And I thought that was gonna, you know, stop there and turn into a brawl. No. He ravishes Figure 8. And I love it. Because you know what? Those kooks deserve all they fucking get. The feud this season really annoyed me. I think that it was just really stupid. But JJ's scene, perfection. And all the edits I'm seeing of it, keep them coming. Keep them coming because they're amazing. Oh, I love it. Rafe, as I said, was really good this season. I thought he was very funny, had very, very funny one-liners. Oh my god. I was not expecting the king himself to make an appearance this season. I thought we were done for, but no, Mr. Barry came and saved us all. Oh my god, you don't understand the way I screeched when he was on screen because I just think he's the funniest person ever. And I need to kind of see more of him and Rafe next season because I will say one thing. There are no gay people on Outer Banks and it pisses me the fuck off because like you have gay people on the cast and you can't even get like any MLM representation in there. I'm not even asking for lesbians at this point. I just want one bisexual man. And honestly, now that Rafe is broken up with Sophia, which I'm a bit sad about, but whatever, I think that Rafe and Barry have a really good shot at working something out. So, if any show execs are listening, Drew Starkey, hey, make Rafe and Barry happen because they can match each other's freak. Barry puts Rafe in his place, as he should, and I feel like, of all the shit they've been through, and, they kind of were at each other's throats for some time, they work together now. They can make deals done, and I think that they would be a lovely couple. So, if you guys are into the Rafe, Barry, yaoi, progression, let me know. We should start a petition. Adding to the yaoi as well, I've recently discovered the JJ Pope ship, thanks to a person on TikTok who's been making really good edits. I'll put their name somewhere here, because it has converted me. I was about Giara for a bit, but after this season I thought their chemistry was absolutely shit, so I was against that. But JJ Pope, there is material, there is potential, there is tragedy, there is everything. And oh my god. See, we can't even have it happen anymore because JJ's gone. But I would love for the community to start writing JJ Pope fics, JJ Pope imagines, more edits, everything. Because this is the most tragic ship of my absolute dreams, and I'm so into it. So, everyone join the yaoi brigade. Yay! But I think that basically sums up how I feel about Outer Banks. I know I haven't said much on the plot itself, but that's just because I think it was just stupid. I don't care about this chase. I don't care about this story. I don't care about what's at stake. I just think they've done so much better. But there were some really good standout moments, really good performances, really, really good. And I think that makes up for it somewhat. But not too excited for next season in terms of story. But I guess we'll see how it goes. So, if you feel different, let me know. If you completely hated it, let me know too. Because I'd love to know what the people think. I'm a woman of the people. But those are my thoughts on Outer Banks. Everyone go watch Outer Banks. Thanks. Alright, to wrap up this episode, I really want to talk my shit about music. Because I'd probably say music is like my main thing. I'm not musically talented. I could dance, but I probably won't ever be able to again. And I don't know. I just really, really like music. It's been my main thing. I actually haven't. I've held off looking at the Grammy nominations for this moment. So everyone, please say thank you because this is a really big deal for me. But I thought I would go through the Grammy noms for next year and make my prediction. I don't know why I pronounce it like that. Make my prediction on who was gonna win. Because I think that I'm always right, and yeah. But as I said, I haven't seen any of these yet, so this is going to be a surprise to me. I've heard the buzz and stuff and like things that have got snubbed, but this is going to be my official reaction and prediction for the Grammys. I'm actually very excited because 2024 was a fantastic year for music. I hate the people that say that pop music is dead, that music has turned trash, because this is one of the best years we've had for pop music in general, and the women in pop music, eating it up. Alright. So, record of the year, we have Now and Then by the Beatles. What? Texas Hold'em by Beyonce. Espresso, 360, Birds of a Feather, Not Like Us, Good Luck Babe, and Fortnite. This is a run. Okay. Now and Then is kind of funny because the only reason that they would have nominated Now and Then is because it was the final Beatles song and the Beatles can't release their final song and it not be Grammy nominated. I just feel like that's a given. I actually really like Now and Then. I get, it's very like melancholic, but in terms of record of the year, it made no noise. It made noise with the 10 young people that still care about the Beatles, and that's it. So, unfortunately, I don't think so. But, let's see. Okay, I think I'm just going to narrow it down to what I think doesn't have a chance, because there are some really good contenders. Now and Then, no. Texas Hold'em, there are so many better songs on Cowboy Carter. Espresso definitely has a chance. That is the most song of the summer that is ever song of the summer. 360. I don't not like 360, but there are just so many better songs on Brat, and obviously that is the main single, so it has to be what it is, but if anything was to win for Brat, it should not be that song. Birds of a Feather, I wouldn't be mad, but Billy has a lot better stuff, and stuff that's already, you know, been awarded by the Academy. So, potentially, Not Like Us, I would not be mad, because that was a moment, an absolute moment. Good Luck Babe is probably the one I'm wanting to win the most, because what do you mean a song about compet is on the top 10, is being played on the radio? It's just such a win for the lesbians and for everyone, and I don't even care that people misconstrue it, because you know what? It's still out there. It's still popular music made by a lesbian, and I'm living. So I really hope Good Luck Babe wins. Fortnite, let's leave it at that. I'm joking. Look, I don't hate Taylor Swift. I went to the Eras tour. I just think Fortnite is one of her worst singles in a long time, okay? If anything, whatever, I would rather Tortured Poets Department win something rather than Fortnite as a song. Please. Okay, Album of the Year. New Blue Sun, Cowboy Carter, Short and Sweet, Brat. I don't know how to say that. I'm so sorry. Hit Me Hard and Soft, Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess, Tortured Poets Department. Okay, I have not listened to the Andre 3000 and Jacob Collier albums, unfortunately. So I'm so sorry. I said I knew everything, but I didn't say that my knowledge was extensive. That means the same thing. Never mind. But basically, I think that Short and Sweet, Brat, or Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, I would want to win. Honestly, I would not mind Tortured Poets Department, because I feel that if you take it as not a pop princess album, which Taylor Swift hasn't done one of those in a very long time, but I just think that it was, I don't know, I see it as a more self-indulgent piece rather than something that's meant to be commercially recognized. I didn't really like Tortured Poets Department. I think there's some very good songs on there, but as a whole piece, I can see why it was made. I do not resonate with that, because I feel like I'm just not at that point in my life where I can. But I think it's not that bad, as people have been saying it is. But I would really like the Rise and Fall of Midwest Princess to win, because I think that's a no-skip album. Every song is vocally amazing. The sound itself is so unique, and I feel like this album's really gonna kind of drive the sound of the rest of the 2020s. So I would not be mad at all. Short and Sweet's just a really good album, and Brat was revolutionary. So, Song of the Year, a bar song, Birds of a Feather, Die With a Smile, Fortnite, Good Luck Babe, Not Like Us, or Texas Hold'em. I really didn't see Texas Hold'em getting so many nominations. I don't know. Kind of crazy that a bar song is nominated, because is that not a Jaquan, like, redo? But good for him. I feel like he's getting a lot of good press. Shabuzi. So, no hate at all. In terms of a song, obviously Good Luck Babe is my number one pick. We know this. Not Like Us would be fucking crazy, because what do you mean a song about Drake being a pedophile gets a Grammy? Oh, I love it. I live for it. I'd be happy. Oh my, I missed Please, Please, Please. Whoops. Probably my least favorite song of Short and Sweet, so I'm not gonna go for that. Honestly, Good Luck Babe, Not Like Us, or Die With a Smile, I'd be fine with. I forgot I'm meant to be predicting these. Oh my god, I'm actually... Okay, guys, sorry, I was having too much fun. Let me backtrack. Okay, my prediction for Record of the Year, who I think it's gonna go to, whether I like it or not. I think it's gonna go to Good Luck Babe. Chapel Roan. Album of the Year, I think, is probably gonna go to either Cowboy Carter, Brat, or Tortured Poets Department. I can't choose, so any of those three. Song of the Year, I honestly think will go to Good Luck Babe. I'm putting that in now. Oh, okay, this one is exciting. Best New Artist. I've heard of most of these, I feel. Benson Boone kind of came out of nowhere, but I feel like it's kind of the case of Australia being behind culturally by like 5 months, because now he's starting to kind of pick up steam on Australian radio. I don't know where he came from, what his deal is, but he seems nice enough, so whatever. I'm so happy Ray is nominated. She deserves this so much. And I feel like if Chapel and Sabrina weren't here, Ray would win 1,000%. And you know what? She still might have a fucking chance, but it is completely between Chapel and Sabrina. Just my little heart, I'm rooting for Chapel a tiny bit more, but either one can win and I will be ecstatic because this has been such a good year for women. And I think they both are kind of representative of that force. I honestly think if I have to choose, Sabrina might take it, but her or Chapel, 1,000%. Okay, best pop solo performance. Apple probably won't win. I think Apple is lyrically really good, but up against all of these, I honestly think it'll be Espresso, because that was just kind of like you cannot reach the limits of Espresso that it reached. it's something else entirely. So I think Espresso for sure. Best pop duo group. Gracie Abrams Grammy nomination. Damn. Okay, this category is kind of like flopping. Maybe. I guess we've had such good solo moments this year. I feel like there's not been a good group thing. Yeah. I want Die With a Smile to win. I like The Boy Is Mine, but I feel like there's better songs than Eternal Sunshine. Guess was for the girls and the gays, not for the Grammys. I'm gonna say Die With a Smile because it's not my favorite song in the world, but Lady Gaga got Bruno Mars out of retirement, so I can't complain. Okay, best pop vocal album. Eternal Sunshine. You deserve all the flowers in the world. I have always kind of been into Ariana from the sidelines, but this album, oh my god, perfection, genius. She is so smart. So in terms of vocal, that's what we need to remember, vocal. I would not be mad at Chapel Roan because that is a vocalist. We've all forgotten what vocalists are. She is here. You need to be able to sing. Her Eternal Sunshine, but because I know Eternal Sunshine got so fucking robbed, I'm gonna say Eternal Sunshine will win because Ari deserves that. Holy shit, Madison Beer is nominated for a Grammy. She deserves that because that song is so good. Oh my god. Or Home to Another One is a song I have been bumping, and I've never really been to Madison Beer just because I don't know, never delved in, but very happy for her. See, Von Dutch deserves 360s nachos, 360s cookies. Von Dutch is such... I think it's maybe because it reminds me of older Charlie, 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. I love it. Such a good song. Billy, Yes and, Got Me Started. Oh, Troy. It's just Troy and the girlies. I think I'd love Got Me Started to win, because I think the samples are really iconic. It's really, really iconic. But I kind of want Von Dutch to win too. Also, not Addison Rae being a Grammy nominee. You know what? She deserved it with I Got It Bad. That song is so good. But, wow, that's crazy. Good for her. Brando Stone in The New World being nominated, it makes complete sense to me. Such a fun journey of an album. It is so good when you listen to it in order. Childish Gambino can never do no wrong. Like, he can never do wrong. That's clear. So I really hope he wins. I feel like Not Like Us will probably just win Best Rap because it's the Grammys. they can, like, rap, rock, whatever the hell. They stay in their categories. They are never acknowledged anywhere else. But he would definitely win Best Rap Performance for sure. Beyonce being nominated for Best Country Solo is so cunty. And for 16 Carriages, I do agree. See, Texas Hold'em I can't really get on too much, but 16 Carriages, perfect. I don't listen to country, so I've only other song I've heard on here is a bar song. But Beyonce cleans up Grammys, so she'll be fine. Also, side note, I'd love it if Merrily We Roll Along won Best Musical Theatre because Daniel Radcliffe, Grammy Award winner? Slay. Like, oh my god, wait, Daniel Radcliffe next EGOT, please. Oh my god, I'd love that. You know what? Throw Jonathan Groff into. Please, oh my god. Oh, I've predicted the future, for sure. Best Compilation Soundtrack, okay. Color Purple, Deadpool Wolverine, Maestro, Saltburn, Twisters. Okay, The Color Purple was an amazing movie. I watched it on the plane back from London. Gorgeous. I really need to watch the original. Deadpool Wolverine I did not see, but I feel like Marvel movies just rely on, like, the 80s fucking soundtrack anyway, so whatever. Saltburn was really fun. Nice little indie sleaze moment. And what the actual fuck is on Twisters, the album? Not that I'm hating on Twisters, I just didn't... Are there songs in that movie? Has Jelly Roll, Luke Combs. Is it just all country artists? Benson Boone. Shania Twain. Yeah, this is... I mean, I guess makes sense. I feel like Twisters are a Midwestern thing. Did I say that correctly, Americans? Mason Ramsey. Oh my god, they got the Yodel Kid on here. I'd love for the Yodel Kid to win a Grammy. Okay. I'm gonna say... I have no idea who the fuck is gonna win, but I'm gonna say I want Twisters to win, because Mason Ramsey. Okay, score. Ooh. Oh, I don't even see anything else on this list. Challenges, genuinely the best score in any modern movie I have ever seen. I've only seen Challenges once, unfortunately. I really need to get back on it again. But the score was probably the thing I love the most about that movie, and I love a lot about that movie. Challenges! Oh my god! So good. I'm so happy it was nominated. This is like everything going right in the world. If Challenges doesn't win, I will be very sad, but that is perfect. It's not a Grammy season without Olivia Rodrigo, and Can't Catch Me Now deserved so much, because Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes got snubbed basically for everything, including its soundtrack and the movie, so I'm glad we can finally get some justice with Can't Catch Me Now, because I don't know that Twisters song, fucking Trolls, don't know that song. Barbra Streisand! Well, Can't Catch Me Now on top. Do It for Lucy Gray. Okay. Music video. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, A$AP Rocky. 360. The 360 video was really good. Houdini. Okay, Houdini is a fucking annoying song, but I will admit, Eminem kind of cooked slightly with the video. Like, if I gave more of a fuck about Eminem, I think I would eat that shit up. It's not that bad. Not Like Us is really, really, really good video, especially from what I've seen of all, like, the references, like, you know, culturally relevant references to people, who I guess are into that scene. I don't know anything about rap or the beef from the surface level, but from what I heard, it was really well done, and I mean, as an outsider, I love the video too. Fortnite, no. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. I guess I'm saying 360 or Houdini. Oh god. Charlie XX with Eminem, who would have thought? Oh, and that's it. All right. Well, really good year in music this year. I'm very, very excited to watch the Grammys. I think that they're gonna deliver. Let's see if my predictions were right. Because as I said, I am always right. But I think that rounds out today's episode. I'm very excited for this new venture. I've had a lot of fun just talking to my camera. Once again, apologies for like the quality. I've just been really, really broke. So we'll deal with it for now. But hopefully I can make up for it. This has been really fun, and I'm really excited to see how you guys, how receptive you are to this, if you're feeling it, if not, hopefully not. Please lie to me, I don't like criticism. But had a lot of fun. I don't have a schedule or anything planned yet, because I know the moment I promise something, it's not going to happen, because I'm just that type of person. But I promise I will not leave you hanging like I've done in the past. Fingers crossed. But I'm having a lot of fun, and I hope you guys do too. Make sure you like, subscribe. I don't know how it works on Spotify with podcasts. Can you like leave a comment and you can save it? Whatever you do, I appreciate it endlessly, no matter what it is. Yeah. So if there's anything you want to hear me rap, yeah, I'm gonna rap. Okay, no, we're never seeing that. You want me to yap about in the future? Let me know. I'll put like, I don't know, other social media links and stuff are on my channel. But yeah, thank you for joining me on this journey. And you know what? Maybe next time I'll have some hot chips and we can lie together. How's that sound? Anyway, all right. I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.